Hi and welcome back to my channel. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm so grateful. So today we're going to be talking about dreams, the importance of dreams, and the reason why you forget your dreams, and the solution, what to do for you to always remember your dreams, and what to do to avoid them. So if you find this video very useful, please don't forget to like, share, okay, share, subscribe. So let's just hit back to what we have today. So today we'll talk about dreams, and the simplified way I can just describe dream is when you are having some kind of images, especially when you're in a subconscious state. Images, those things that comes through your mind, okay. That is what dream is all about. In a subconscious state, some people they call it trance, while some people they confuse it as visions. But dream is just different thing entirely. So what we'll be dealing on today is dreams. So at the other time, maybe any other time, we'll be talking about visions and trance, what they all means. Okay. So but today we're talking about dreams and the reason why, especially why you forget your dreams. So dreams, like I said, is just when you are in a subconscious state. The thoughts and images that comes through your mind when you are sleeping. Let me just use that word, sleeping. So people, they don't know what subconscious state means. So let me just make it easier for you when you are sleeping. Okay. So but visions it can just come like flash. It might not just be that you're sleeping. It might just come like a flash. So trance is when you just go deep into something. Okay, I don't know that people have experienced that before. You go deep into something. So that is just, let me just make it, let's just jump it here and there so that you understand what I mean. So the reason why we forget our dreams, especially 70% of them, is because of an enemy. We don't fight against flesh and blood. If some people that know, if you know the biblical terms of where I'm coming from, we don't fight against, if you have seen that scripture before, we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against principalities and powers. There are powers beyond this physical realm that all they do is just to make sure they tarnish, they rubbish people's destiny, just to make sure they fall into pain and miserable situations. So that is just what enemy they do. So 70%, like I said, 70% is just the reason why people forget their dreams are enemies. Why 30% is just because of what has happened throughout the day. You're just so tired, and there's some people who just come back from work or come back from work. They do this every day, especially from work, or maybe they have a very busy day and maybe they just came by, the next thing is just drop themselves on the bed. Even they close the one that day, you might even sleep with it. Okay, so tiredness. So when you are so tired, there's possibility that you will dream and you will not remember. You will try as much as you can. So that's very important. That's why it's very important that when you dream, you should please try and make sure that you create that environment for yourself. You have good rest. The body, soul, and spirit need to rest. They need to, focus. They need to. It's just like when you are in the school, and if you don't give that focus to what you are studying or what you are learning, you will not have it in, because when you give attention to what you learn, anywhere you are being called, anywhere you are, you can easily give answer immediately, and just people will just know, yes, you're in the class. But if you are there in that class, you're just so distracted. I call it distractions less. You're so distracted, and tomorrow, or maybe not even tomorrow, after a second, when you're done with that study or when you're done with that lecture, and you just go, someone might just ask a question or you want to deal on it for, it has gone off. Why? Because you don't give it attention. So that's very important. It's very important that you have to give yourself this attention, give yourself a time of rest, so that whenever you dream, you can remember. Okay. But like I said, 70% is caused by enemies. A lot of enemies. Like I said before, we don't fight against flesh and blood. There's a lot of people that have good destinies. They have good, great destinies, great, they are so great, like they have good calling from God. Some people, if you be around them, if they dream, that dream will definitely happen. It's sure, if you don't pray about it and you don't do something about it. That's why it's very even important that you dream and you forget and you know what to do about it. It's very easy. But when you dream and you forget and you don't do anything about it, that is when it becomes difficult. Okay, so try as much as you can to pray whenever you dream, and especially when you forget. So when you forget your dreams, enemies, there are a lot of things that God has just trying to expose to you that the enemy doesn't want you to know. Okay, and some people, maybe for instance, if they have a job, there are some steps that God will reveal to you what to do if it's an interview, or if you are going on a trip, and kind of mishaps might want to happen on the way. So if you don't have this caution is just a dream that God shows to you, things to come or things already that have gone, maybe what you went through, these are the causes, this is what you have to do. It's just only dream, because the God that we serve is not a God that you see physical. Is, say we are spirits. God is spirit, and those that serve him in spirit and in truth. It's only in the spirit state that he can speak to us. He cannot come physical. But there's some people, they are just so blessed that people might just come physically to them and tell them, this is what I found out about this. And if you're not careful and they give you that one and you don't do anything about it, definitely it's going to happen. Okay, so that's why it's very important to do something about it, because there are a lot of things God just wants to show you, and it's basically all about the life that you live. You know what I mean by all the life that you live? The life that you live, it all comprises of what you know. The things that you don't know, if, like I said, accident want to happen and that accident might end your life, that is the end of you. But when you have this state of remembering those dreams and you pray against, that's why I said it's very easy. When you dream and you forget it, you know what to do about it, it's easy. But when you dream and you don't do anything about it, that is when it becomes difficult. And don't be scared when you dream and you forget. Don't be scared. There are solutions, there are things that you need to do about that, okay? But first of all, we have to use a Bible scripture to back up what we'll be having today. And we'll be using, if you don't have Bible, please ensure you do that. And when you're watching, just go through the scripture, or maybe any later time, you can just have the time to enter the scripture and go through it. So today we'll be reading, there's no how that we'll talk about this today that will not use the scripture to back up what we have today. We'll be reading 1 Samuel chapter 28 verse 15. Yeah, it's talking about Samuel. Samuel is a prophet. For those that have gone through the scriptures, this part of the scripture is a prophet, but later died. All right, so, and it's just between the conversation between Saul and Samuel. So I don't want to start from the beginning. I'm just trying to break it down. Saul was somebody that later disobeyed. Like I said, if you have gone through that part of the scripture, you understand. Or if you want to have better understanding of where I'm coming from, okay, you have to go through all this book of chapters, first Samuel 28, okay, and go through all the chapters, you understand where. So this part is when Samuel already is dead, is a prophet, and Saul was having situations with, is a king, was having situation on his rulership. The people and is ruling, okay, there were fights between the Philistines and him. So here Samuel is already dead. So Saul now went to make inquiry from a witchcraft, okay, because like I said, King Saul was somebody that God really loved. God has good plans for Saul, but just that Saul delved into something that wasn't the vision or wasn't what God planned for him. So that's why just like everything is just fighting against him, and he has been looking for a way. And now Samuel is dead. So how? Because Samuel was somebody that God was using as a prophet to reveal to Saul what is going to happen. That's why I said, if you have somebody around you, if it's a pastor, a man of God, truly called, that can be telling you things to come, you go to them, they don't understand what I mean. Maybe you remember the dream and you tell them, they will tell you the meaning, and probably, yes, it's very possible that those dreams they reveal to you, or they tell you the meaning. It's just what it is. So that is just what Samuel the prophet was to Saul. So now Saul is dead. He doesn't even know how to go about, and he's not close to God anymore. God is not even listening to him. Why? Because he has gone out of the ways of God. So I'm just trying to break it down so you understand. Then let's say 1 Samuel 28 verse 15 said, then Samuel said to Saul, when he went to the witch doctor to make inquiry, because Samuel is already dead, it's a ghost. Like I said, we speak to God in spirit and in truth, because God is not a physical God. So Samuel is already dead, okay? So he just Saul went to make inquiry from a witch doctor to ask to see if he can invoke the spirit of Prophet Samuel. You can see the devil is not laughing this time. If a man like a man of God is Prophet Samuel already dead, a witchcraft can invoke him. You can imagine what we are fighting against. Okay, God did not give them the power. They have the power, the temporal power, but God is much greater. Okay, so Samuel is already dead. So Saul went to this witch doctor and I said, why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? That is what Samuel said to Saul when Saul went to meet the, and even so when Saul went to meet that witch doctor, Saul did not reveal who he was to the witch doctor, because the witch doctor already know that Prophet Samuel was a very powerful man when he was still alive before he died. So if the witch doctor would have already was aware that Saul was coming there to make inquiry about Samuel, because they already know who Saul was. Saul was a king, so they know Saul went out of the way. I don't think that witch woman, like I said, was not, she wouldn't have even revealed things or said things to Saul. Okay, so now, why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? That's what he said to Samuel. Samuel said to Saul, and Saul now answered, I am greatly distressed, for the Philistines are making war against me, King Saul, and God has left me and no longer answers me, either through prophets or by dreams. Therefore, I have called you to make known to me what I should do. You see that? He said God has left him, that God no longer answers him, either through prophets or by dreams. Those prophets that were alive was not even giving any, any answers. No progress from them. He's not even getting any good feedbacks from them. So he knew that Prophet Samuel was a very powerful prophet when he was alive. So he went to invoke from the witch doctor to ask Saul, and Saul now said, why are you distressed? Why are you disturbing me? Like I said, you should be disturbed in a way, especially if you know that is in a very, what God is, because sometimes when you wake up in your conscious state, you'll be so troubled. What is troubling your spirit? Just like when Jesus was about to be killed, they called the disciples, please come pray with me, I'm about to fall into temptation. They said it's just like a drop of water, because he was feeling this heaviness in his heart, because it's already nearing his death. Okay, so that is the state. Sometimes when you wake up from your dream, you'll be so bothered. I don't know if that has happened to you. You're so troubled inside of you. What is really going on? I can't remember. When you know you are in that distressed state, that is when you have to, try as much as you can, pray to God. Solutions is just that. Give yourself fasting. Don't be lazy about it. Don't say, I have a man of God, I have to pray. Not like I said here in the scripture, Saul went to many prophets and they were not able, except if you are just so blessed to find that man of God that will be alive, that will tell you, because we have a lot of fake pastors now, fake men of God already, so that you not fall into their trap and begin to regret at the end of the day. So meeting somebody that have to tell you what really happened in your dream is very wise, but meeting them sometimes may not be possible for you to meet the real people, real prophet or real people that will reveal to you this dream. But not even meeting them or personally, do you can do something about it? Yes, it's possible. You can put yourself into fasting. Like I said, when I talk about this, forgetting your dreams, I'm going to give you solutions of what to do. You can do it personally. Don't depend on any man of God that will have to pray you out of that situation, especially when you already know the era that we are. Bible said that end time people, love of men is going to wax cold. People will, betray people. A lot of fake pastors, fake men of God are going to be out there in the world at large. Okay, so it now depends on you personally. Don't be scared. A lot of people that are just so scared. They don't have belief that they can do things themselves. That they have more. God has given us the power. He said in His word, He has given us the power to trample upon snakes and serpents. Luke 10:19. Upon every rulers of darkness. So you have the strength and power to bring yourself out of that situation. Give yourself fasting. If it has to do, your fasting might not just. It's not by fasting 40 days. It all depends on the faith with which you use to back up that fasting. That is just what I think. For me personally, is the faith. Okay, it's not by works. Give yourself the fasting, the one you can do. If it's 6 to 2, 6 to 3, it all depends. I tell you, by the time you do this, you give yourself 3 days. Don't be lazy about it. Don't depend on any man that will have to come and pray you out. Give yourself this. If it's 6 to 6 that but please try as much as you can, because life is spiritual. Anything you see that happens physically already happened in the spiritual, so that you will not fall victim to anything at all. At the end of the day, you God helping you if you're alive to even witness what will happen and aftermath. But if you're not alive, What will not be your hope? What will people say? So that's very important, that for your life you have to fast. Give yourself the fasting 6 to 3. Do it 3 days. It all depends. Please try and read scriptures. Scriptures is just our way of life. When you see tourists, a lot of tourists, they go into different countries, they go for holidays, they go for, having their good time of their lives. They take a map along with them. So that is just what the scripture is to us. It's like a map that shows you the path to life. Use any scriptures. You can go pick any one of them that relates to whatever you're going to do. Whenever you finish the fasting, at the same time, even when you are doing that fasting, be using these scriptures to back it up, because it's very important. The Bible said in the book of Joshua, it said, meditate on this day and night. Therein lies your success, your good success. Okay, so like I said, I don't want to make this video long, and it's already getting longer, like I never expected this. So please try as much as I'm just trying to make it, this video, so that you can grasp everything you can grasp. Okay, it's not something that you should be scared about when you forget to drink, but try, like I said, try and be in a state of rest. Especially 70% is the enemy. The way to come out of it is make sure that you give yourself fasting, you give yourself prayers. It might not even be by fasting. It all depends on what God revealed to you. Ask God. You can take this and ask God, how do I go about that? What do I do? It might even tell you to sing song of praise to him, worship song. It might say fasting. It might say, but make sure you do what it says. Okay, make sure you have ears to hear, because if you want to hear more, you have to indulge yourself in spiritual activities with God, not spiritual activities on godly things, but with God. Okay, so sorry, this video is just too long. I have to leave it up here, because if you allow me, I will just try to expand all I can so that I can grasp. Hope you enjoyed it. Please don't be offended that the video is just so long. Like the video, subscribe. If you need any questions, you have any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comment section. We're gonna meet on the next one, and anything that you want us to talk about relating to dreams, we'll be here to treat them. So meet on